Hi guys, welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got a little diagonal image collage for you today. We've got some images here, 3 of them, and when you click on them, they'll pop out into a Lightbox. And we just made it a little bit more interesting by making a little diagonal line in there. Really easy to do, no coding in this today, so let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. And let's go down. I'll delete what I've got here and we'll start from scratch. Okay, well, I'm going to add a new row. In my row, I'm going to use 2 columns, one slightly smaller on the right than the left there. I'm going to add an image module. There we go. Let's choose an image. Okay, down below in the link, I'm going to have mine pop out into a Lightbox. So I'm just going to flip the little switch there to on. And that's all I'm going to do to that for a moment. So let's save that. I'm going to copy it twice or clone it with the 2 little squares, duplicate module. There's one. I'm going to drag one across, doesn't matter which one, they're both identical. And I'm going to clone it one more time so we've got one underneath there. Fantastic. Okay, to make this work today, I don't want any gaps between these images. Also, I better change out these images so we've got 3 different ones perhaps. Let's use that one. And that one. And this one. Great. Okay, well, let's go back into our row now. And to get rid of the gaps there, I'm going to go over to Design and Sizing. Use Custom Gutter Width. I'm going to flip that one to on. I'm going to roll it all the way down to the left hand side so there's no gaps between any of our images there. Fantastic. I'm also going to go over to the Advanced and hide any overflow for when I skew these images. So I'm going to go down to Visibility, Horizontal and Vertical Overflow. I'm going to change both of those to hidden. Great. Well, let's go back to our main content now. I'm going to go into my first column. I'm going to go to Design and Transform. And over here we've got Skew. We've got Transform Scale, Transform Translate, which means move, Rotate, Skew, Transform Origin. Transform Origin is the point from which it rotates. I'm going to use Skew for mine today. I'm going to uncheck the little chain there. And I'm going to drag this up. So that's kind of how we want it. Let's say 20 degrees. Great. And I don't want any corner over here, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger till it fills it out a bit more. So I can do that with a transform scale. Just going to grab it and make it a bit bigger. There we go. It's pretty much square there. Now I'm going to do the same for the other column. I'm going to save this. I'm going to copy the column styles. I'm going to right click and paste them there. So we've got diagonal on both of those now. Okay, they're both kind of skewed. So they're twisted with our skew there. I want them to be straight looking. So we can do that by going into the images themselves and counter it. So let's save our row settings here. I'm going to go to the actual image itself. I'm going to go in there, Design, Transform. Here's the skew again. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to take it 20 degrees the other way so she should be straight again, like our original image there. I want to make her a bit bigger though, so she reaches down here. Let's do that with our scale. I'm going to drag the scale up a bit. I'm going to hit translate as well. I'm just going to pull her down just slightly so she fills out the bottom. Put her to where you want to see as much or as little of her as you want without it spilling out there. So that kind of works for me. Okay, well, let's go back into our other images here. This one I need to do exactly the same thing. Let's move it over here. Again, design, down to transform. Need to scale it up just a little bit. There we go, so it's filling the available area there. And I need to skew it back the way it was. So -20. That's great. Nothing spilling out over there. We'll adjust that in a moment. And let's go into this one here. Over to design, transform. Here's our skew. Again, I'm going to take that one off. I'm going to move it over a little bit to the left with the transform translate there. Great. Well, let's save that. Let's go back into our columns now and hide the overflow so we can't see the little corner sticking out there. Back into the row itself. Going to go into my second column there. Going to go over to advanced and visibility. Again, I'm going to set the overflow to hidden, as well as the vertical. And I've just got one little corner showing on this one, so I need to scale that up a bit or move it over to the right. So I'm happy with that at the moment. Now while I'm in that column, I need to make it a little bit bigger to get rid of that little section right there. So again, I'm going to go over to design in that particular column. Transform. And again, I'm just going to scale it up a bit till it fills out all the available area there. Fantastic. I'm going to save that. And there we have it. Now, because we've given it extra size here, we want to give it a bit of extra space top and bottom for a bit of breathing space between the rows above and below. To do that, in the main row settings here, I'm going to go over to design, spacing, and I'm going to give it a margin top of 50 pixels. Just put in the 50, it'll put in the pics for you, and bottom 50 pixels. That gives it a little more space there. When you're happy, we can save that. Save our page changes down at the bottom here. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And we'll exit the Visual Builder. Roll on down. And there we have it. We've got our little diagonal section there. If you hover over any of these, they're going to pop out into a lightbox. And that's an interesting little feature to have on your site. Like I say, really easy to do. No coding involved. Just adds an interesting touch to it, having that diagonal line. And of course, you can adjust the size of your rows, have them smaller or bigger. You can have two images the same size, however you want to do it. So there you go, guys. There's how to make a diagonal image collage using the Divi theme. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.